So Laura has been telling us to consider adopting, and this is for members and friends, those people who call this place home and feel comfortable here. Anytime you're within 3 feet of someone you do not know or have not said hello to yet today, just assume that your job is to say hello. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Kevin. I don't know if we met, or simple. So we're going to sing in a moment, but as you're standing up to sing, 3 feet, or maybe it's 4 or 5, I invite you to greet with your mouth, with your eyes, the people that are close to you, and then we'll sing together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to see who's around you. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. So come and go with me. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Excellent. It measured up. Very good, Christy. Carmen Riley offers our land acknowledgement this morning.
Good morning. These acorns symbolize that as residents or visitors in Nisenan land, we support the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in their efforts to stabilize their people, as well as the campaign to restore tribal sovereignty through federal recognition.
Good morning. It's a lively group this morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains. Carol Nimick and I are your worship associates today in a service that celebrates all things membership. We are welcoming new members and also new stewards, and we reflect on many aspects of what it means to be a member of this community. I'm using member in the broadest sense here, because whether or not you have officially joined the church, the fact that you're with us today makes you one of us, even if it's just for this particular moment in time. I hope you listen closely to the words of the chalice lighting this morning. I have read them several times, and I hear more each time. For me, they both sum up and expand my understanding of what drew me here, what keeps me here, and what I receive from being here. And they illuminate what is being asked of me and point to new ways in which I can grow and contribute to the greater whole. Since we're starting a new month, we're also working on a new theme, which for December is the Path of Wonder. I admit I was finding it a stretch to link a service devoted primarily to membership to the topic of wonder. As usual, when I'm stumped, I went to the dictionary and, among others, found this definition of wonder: a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration, caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. Well, that pretty much describes how I felt when I discovered UUCM via Zoom at the height of the pandemic. Maybe it fits for you too. So, welcome. Whatever your beliefs, backgrounds, identifications, however you landed here this morning, we are so glad you're with us. Now I invite our newest members and Carol Ritchie, who's not a new member, not a new member, to come forward for our chalice lighting and opening words.
The reading this morning will come from Dana Worsnop. I want to be with my people. Often people come. Often people say they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know what they're getting at, but sometimes they aren't getting it quite right.
I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in a beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation.
I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different thoughts and opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with independent-minded people of good heart.
I want to be with people who have many names and no name for God. I want to be with people who see in me goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles, and who still will love me.
I want to be with people who feel their interconnection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush to resolve it.
I want to be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life and who will hold my hand as I walk mine. I want to be with people who let church call them into a different way of being in the world.
I want to be with people who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to higher and more ethical living. I want to be with people who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit.
I want to be with people who covenant to be honest, engaged, and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I make. I want to be with people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts.
I want to be with people who know that human community is often warm and generous, sometimes challenging, and almost always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you.
Thanksgiving Soup Communion by Tiffany Sapp. I have a story to share. Listen and watch closely, for there may be somebody in this story that could be you or someone you know. A long, long time ago, in a very far, far away land, there was a village full of friendly people, just like you and me, except there was one difference. They did not go to the grocery store. They had to grow their own food. And one of them grew leeks.
I've got leeks.
And one grew kale.
You know kale is good for you.
And one person grew tomatoes.
I've got tomatoes.
And one sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
And one grew lentils.
What's a lentil?
They were all so grateful for what they had, and they lived in peace and harmony.
Excuse me? Have you ever tried eating kale or leeks all the time, day after day? It is awful. I've asked the one over there to share his sweet potatoes, but no, he doesn't want to share the sweet potatoes. Peace and harmony, my eye.
So it's all about you. If I give you my sweet potatoes, I've got nothing to eat. I'm tired of sweet potatoes, but it's better than nothing.
And so our friendly villagers were not so grateful and not so happy and always afraid of not having enough. It was a sorry state of affairs, and everyone had just enough, but no one enjoyed it until
I can't believe these fools don't know what a lentil is. I mean, they're high in protein and in calcium. They're one of the first foods that were ever cultivated by human beings. Well, I've actually eaten as many lentils as I can stand, and I have more than I can ever possibly eat. So I'm gonna actually share some and show them what a lentil actually is.
What do you have there?
Oh, just some soup. Would you like some?
Oh, yes, I would.
Well, it's not done yet. In fact, I do believe it needs some kale.
Oh, I have some of that. Here's the kale.
Hey, he told me what was going on over here. I have some tomatoes. Can I put them in the soup?
Oh, dump it in.
And then I can have some, right?
Your hands off my sweet potatoes. I don't want any of these.
Share some. You know,
Stay
I'm not
away.
gonna give you anything. I'm not gonna do that.
Hey,
Come on.
you two. This soup smells really good, but I bet it would be even better with some leeks and sweet potatoes.
And just like that, everyone shared what they had and hoped that they would benefit from the end result. It wasn't long until the soup was ready, and the 5 villagers discovered that they not only had enough for themselves, but enough for the entire village.
Because soup is awesome like that.
And they invited everyone to come share their good, delicious soup. We all have something to give, and what we have to share may seem uninteresting, insignificant, not enough. But when we mix it with what everyone brings to the pot and the combination of ingredients, it's wonderful. Our community here is like that. We bring ourselves to the table, we all benefit. What might you be bringing to the soup pot? What are you wanting to bring? Let's be delicious.
Thank you for the story. I invite us to sing any of our youngest folks who want to go to Kids Connection today on their way. We miss you when you're gone, so we like to sing to you when you're headed that way. So I invite us to sing This Little Light of Mine as our young ones who want to go to Kids Connection. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's December. Impossible. It's December already. And soon to be 2023. Can you imagine? So here we are, arriving on a Sunday morning, grayish Sunday morning, a wonderfully wet Sunday morning, coming to a room where we celebrate new members and membership and being together, period. And we've got all the rest that came in with us that we've held. So I invite you to notice for a moment, start close in. What about you who's on your mind and in your heart. Just notice, what are you wrestling with, dancing with, working with about you? Maybe it's health related, or about your body, or a big decision, or worry about something else. What's in you? And let's expand a little bit outward to this room full of people. What within this room full of people, including our Zoom people, what is on your mind and in your heart about the individuals or the community, the congregation as a whole? What joy, sorrow, concern are you carrying about this community? Let's go a ring outward. Grass Valley, Nevada City, Nevada County. What about this area? What's going on? What's present in your thoughts are you holding about this wider community, this place? And a big ring outward to this nation, this country. What joy, what sorrow, what concern are you holding? And one more ring outward to the world. What's going on in the world that's been in your mind and in your heart, in your prayers perhaps? It's all here. Here and here and here and here and here at Wide World with us. We take time in our service to notice out of the rest of the busyness and to acknowledge that all that is being held in ourselves and in the people that we're with. If you're online, I invite you during the quiet music to type into the chat some piece of what you're carrying today, if you wish. If you're in the room, I invite you, if you wish, to come take a stone from the table and to place it in the bowl of water, representing this one simple stone, something much, much larger, many things much larger, perhaps. So that we have a chance both to notice within and we have a chance to hold each other. I invite you into your own prayerfulness, thoughtfulness, focus, attention to yourself and to each other. May our prayers be answered. May our pain be lessened. May our sorrow be met with open hearts and kindness. May our joys be shared in ways that multiply and ripple outward. May our invisibility be seen. May our truest selves be witnessed and valued and loved. And may all be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be whole. So may it be. Those of us who have been married may recognize this experience of going to a wedding and reviewing your own wedding and marriage and vows and relationship. I watch it all the time in people's eyes as I'm officiating weddings. Yes, this couple's getting married, but there's a whole lot else going on. You can just see it. And in the same way, a new member welcome service has that opportunity. Folks who've been members a long time get a chance to think, yeah, what about that? What about this? What does this mean to me? How is it different? How's my relationship? And I often name this in some way that somewhere along the line, we get disappointed in this membership journey. We usually start out excited and happy and, wow, this is great. And at some point we go, And there's another kind of decision to stay or not. And often I say that that's when you really know you're a member, when you cross that threshold. Well, a wonderful writer, speaker, and founder of the UU Hysterical Society has offered a really wonderful edition of that. So I invite you to receive Liz James' expression of just this kind of thing.
When my sister was about 9 years old, the teacher gave her a desk that didn't fit. Or at least it didn't fit according to my sister, who likes to swing her legs like a hurricane while she's working. And she explained the problem to the teacher, who didn't really do much. And my sister came home in tears of rage. And so my dad did what the father of any crying 9-year-old would do. He pulled out his copy of the book On Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. And so the next morning, my determined sister headed out to school armed with the conviction that authority can have no power over a person or property except that which he concedes. And she headed over to her desk, and she laid her work out on her chair, sat down on the floor, began working, and informed her teacher that she was on desk strike. The teacher told her to cut it out. Then the teacher tried to reason with her. Eventually, the teacher sent her to the principal. And the principal decided that the smartest thing to do was just give tiny Henry a new desk. And so my sister flew home on the wings of a dawning sense of her own power. I thought about this story years later when I was new to Unitarian Universalism. I was so excited to find UUism. I love church and community, and I'm also pretty much an atheist, so I didn't know there was an option for me. And when I realized there was, I dove into church leadership. And I was pretty good at it too. My work on the membership committee drew such attention from leadership that I was made chair by my second meeting, which clearly meant I was nailing it. I was attending board meetings within a year. I would go with my friend Anne, and afterwards we would have a second meeting where we would have a debrief on the spiritual practice that was church leadership in the parking lot of the Dairy Queen. And usually those meetings were a flurry of co-conspiratorial joy and ideas, and occasionally they were not so much. Because not everybody understood my clear talent for church leadership. Sometimes they didn't listen to everything I had to say. Sometimes I felt like there wasn't space for me, or like we weren't adhering to our covenant that we agreed to, or Sometimes other people were just wrong. And when that would happen, when we were dealing with conflicts as a board that were so big that I felt like my church was on fire around me, Anne and I would just sit and cry together. For days later, I would think about those meetings. I would think of all the things I should have said. I would compose emails that I was never going to send, and I would try to digest the pain of it. And then one night in the parking lot, Anne said something to me that I will never forget. Everyone thinks they join a church with the membership ceremony, Anne said. You know that moment where the minister says a few words and they give you a flower and you sign a book, and it's very nice. But there's this other moment, months or sometimes even years later. There's this moment when you're fed up, when someone says something horrible or does something horrible and everybody just stands there like it's fine. And you realize this isn't the place you thought it was, and these are not the people that you thought they were. That moment, Anne told me, is your re-membership moment. That moment when you decide if you're really in this. When you realize it's not what you expected, and you have to decide if that's a reason to leave, which sometimes it is. But sometimes it's a reason to build. A reason to claim this space that is your home, a reason to fight for it, and more than that, be peaceful for it too. Listen to it and love it and just sit with it while it grows. I think of remembership whenever I feel like there's not room for me in my spiritual communities. Still happens, by the way. And when I do think of remembership, I think about my sister. Not stuffing it and squeezing into a space that didn't fit, but also not storming out, not slamming the door behind her, not breaking things. Because there is a third option, and that is to hold your ground. Insist that the circle expand. Make a space for yourself at the table or adjacent to the table or wherever it is that actually fits you. When I think about remembership, I think about my sister, sitting down beside her desk, laying out her papers, and getting to work.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. I invite Pam Kaiser, the president of the congregation, to welcome our newest UUCM members, mostly.
As president of this congregation, it's my honor and my joy to welcome our newest members into membership in the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains. Well, our newest members, plus one not so new member, we've not had a chance to welcome into service until today. As members, they have pledged to continue their open-minded, open-hearted journey of the Spirit, covenanted with members of this community. We've asked each person to bring an object today that symbolizes something in themselves that they bring to this shared journey or something that they are seeking here. In a few sentences, they will share with us what their symbol represents, place it on the altar, and be welcomed by leadership and all of us. I'm going to call you up one at a time. Lori Bell.
Good morning. I had a challenge and a blessing to move from a very large space to a very tiny place. The challenge was, what do I take with me? Couldn't take everything that I had around me in the large place. So I chose the things that were most precious to me. Now I live in a very small space surrounded by treasures. And I gathered up some of the small treasures and added it to this box. The second thing I would take with me after my dog if I had to leave my home immediately. The treasures have stories. And stories, when shared with people, make connection. I look forward to sharing my stories with anyone and all of you, and hope that you will come and share some with me.
This is a decoration from my home because by and large, I am a homebody. This decoration has lots of kitchen utensils because food is my love language. For many years, more than 30 years, I was part of a group at my previous UU congregation who cooked dinner at a homeless shelter one evening every month. And that was a very important part of my service to that community. So this represents both my desire to find new community here in this congregation with whom I can share loving acts of food, and also to continue service to those who have not enough to eat when we have so much. Thank you for welcoming me.
Magdalene Florence.
Hello. I guess the most, I am a lover of nature and very connected to Mother Earth and her creatures. I commune with them every day to hear their teachings and guidance. And so when I was looking for an object in my home to bring today, I came upon one of my many, many little turtles, really tiny. And I was thinking about how the turtle represents many, many aspects of me and my life. One being that the turtle represents Mother Earth, so that was a given. This particular little piece has a baby turtle on its back. And that reminded me not just of Mother Earth, but of mothering. And that has been a blessing, part of my life, not just with my birth child, but with my grandsons and the young children that I taught, and all of the animals that I birthed and took care of, and later in my life, carrying and supporting those I love, the elders. So mothering was very important to me. Also, the turtle is very slow, and I am very slow in making decisions. To me, when I make a choice or a decision, it's a sacred thing for myself, and so I really take my time and really feel like it's a commitment. And so joining this church was not a light decision for me, but I am very happy to be here. And I'm hoping that I can contribute many things to all of you. Thank you.
Jeff Gold.
Good morning. The object that I brought to share with you is something that was given to me over 50 years ago. And it looks like this. It is this. It's a geomantic compass that was used in China for over 1,000 years to divine and find auspicious places and site buildings in the landscape. And I have used a fashion of this compass in my many years of designing and constructing buildings. I feel very happy to be here with all of you and to be in this auspicious place that has been loved and nurtured and cared for. And I look forward to years ahead with all of you and finding where our new home might be. Perhaps here in this very space, and perhaps in another place. But it's our hearts and being together that is what is important to me. Thank you.
Alec McLean.
Good morning. Uh-oh. When Jeff asked for us to bring something meaningful for our relationship, there's no doubt that this was what I would bring. It symbolizes how I will hope to serve this community as I served my past congregation for over 30 years. As a handy person, a fix-it person, facilities engineer, I already have the honor and privilege of assisting with the Facilities Exploration Committee. So this really represents my participation in this community. And yeah, before we're done together, I probably will plunge a toilet here. Also, this was my father's hammer, and he never taught me to use it. And so I sincerely hope that I can provide a better mentorship for some of the young people in this community. I would really like to not perpetuate this.
Carol Nemec.
This spring, I was gifted with this small pot. It was a gift before our wedding. And it was a gift to hold prayers and thoughts and wishes for my path ahead with Jeff as we got married. And at about the same time as we were writing our signatures to our wedding certificate, we were writing them to UU, to be with all of you. And it was wonderful. And in the last few days, I've been writing prayers and wishes and thoughts from my journey ahead as a UU member. And I am so grateful to all of you who created the work and the vessel, the chalice that is living in the middle of this congregation, because I know so much creativity and soul and spirit and just hard work has gone in, and I'm looking forward to contributing to that chalice and furthering the prayer pot.
Tracy Pepper.
Good morning. Have any of you ever had a butterfly land on you? If you have, hold your hand up. Yeah. Isn't it a beautiful thing? What I brought this morning is a rock that's shaped like a heart that has a butterfly drawn on it. And I brought that because the butterfly is a symbol to me of love and of transitions and of beauty. My sister and I, when we were young, we would play in the backyard and we loved chasing the butterflies and pretending like they were chasing us. And it was just one of our things that we shared. And when she passed away at a very young age, when we were putting her into the ground, a butterfly came and landed on the coffin. So there's a very strong connection to butterflies, and it means to me sisterhood and love and commitment and loyalty. It also means, as I said, transitions and transformations, and which is all a part of our lives. And so what I hope to bring and what I hope to get from this congregation is a sense of community, authenticity, honesty, and I hope to do whatever I can to make this congregation continue to be as good as it is now. And I thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate it.
Leona Sapphire.
Hello, everyone. I've had this cornucopia on my kitchen table the whole autumn. It's been such a beautiful time of year, and the reason I brought it is because it symbolizes to me blessings, the abundance of life and fulfillment of dreams. And I realized that one of my dreams, one of my missions my whole life is I want to bring more love and joy and beauty into the world. Beauty meaning what uplifts everyone. And I want to do this with a group of people. I want to just make this world more filled with love and joy and beauty and magic. And what I hope to do is join with you all and create this through music or however, gathering together and just connecting, being ourselves. I think that's really important to find. And I finally found a community where I can be myself. And I feel a little bit odd, and it's nice to know that I'm okay and that I'm still loved. And so thank you so much for being here and helping this fulfillment dream of mine to come true.
Last but not least, Carol Ritchie, who's been with us since 2020, and she is our finance chair.
and was the first person who joined really as the pandemic began, but has not been able to be in the new member welcome service. So Carol actually gets to sign the official book today. She signed it from a distance. That's what we did during COVID, but today she gets to sign the actual book.
Yeah, so this is a makeup session. Long time coming. There was one makeup session held that I was out of town for. So I was in the starting point group with Pam and Gary and Lisa Hayden. So that was like toward the end of, that was early 2020. Yeah, unbelievable. So but I still feel new. So I still haven't passed that point that Kevin was talking about, that, you know, I'm all the way in, but I am contributing to the community in many ways. So I brought two objects that signify what I'm contributing to the community. This is an old-fashioned calculator to signify my work in finance. I've been with the finance committee ever since I first came here, because there aren't a lot of finance people in churches. Yes, you can see. Didn't recruit any new members for the finance committee today. And then the second thing I brought, this is the other part of my life that I find most dear. This is my clergy pin. I'm a chaplain, and I've had the pleasure of working on the lay pastoral care team here with Kevin, and I look forward to doing more in that area as well. So I get to use my left brain and my right brain.
Sign first.
Right in front of you, Lisa.
If everybody would like to sort of move to the front. And where everyone can see you. Think of a photo op here. Now, I'm going to ask these, our newest members, to offer words of commitment together. With gratitude and hope, I enter into this community freely, ready to honor its promises, to support its work, and witness through the sharing of my insights, my questions, my time, my talent, and my treasure, ready to be a living witness to kindness, compassion, justice, and courageous love in the world. Now, I ask all members of the congregation to rise in body or in spirit and to hold out a hand of blessing toward these newest members and to say with me the words of welcome on the screen. We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains, welcome you into our covenant of seeking and serving, to our mission of creating a world more compassionate, sustainable, and just. We are glad for your decision to make us companions of your spirit, and we open our hearts and our hands to you.
Can I invite now all together to share in naming the mission statement. So Paul, the mission statement, you there? So new and existing, and even folks who are here for the first time, feel free to try it on for size. Together?
With courageous love and a sense of wonder, we cultivate our spiritual, emotional, and intellectual strength to create a world more compassionate, sustainable, and just.
And now wild applause and hoopla is perfectly appropriate. We ask our newest members to speak like that, so you get a little sense of who they are, and indeed we do, don't we? In just a little introduction. So we're going to do one more thing that's about the existing members. We'll squeeze in today. There's a new steward program, which is about connecting people. And I invite Marianne Currington, who chairs the stewardship team, to lead us in. Okay. And just because he's here right now, so thank you for everyone who brought gifts for the Christmas gift giving, especially for the young people. So Tom Oates is here to actually pick those up. He's the person who's picking those up. So I just want to acknowledge and thank. I'm not sure if he's in view or might be busy packing those gifts, but just to know that your work is heading out into the world now.
Six weeks ago, we introduced this new concept, a new role for our congregation, a year-round steward. A member who volunteered to be a steward will contact us, several members, several times a year. The steward and member can connect in any way that feels comfortable. The emphasis is on connection, being heard and being valued. And of course, all these rich conversations will be kept very confident. COVID did give us a great gift, an appreciation of the joy of community. We were so fortunate to have our Sunday services and keeping our strong connection to our church. Now that we're finally gathering, We're recognizing even more deeply the value of community, of being with each other. We share common values, and we are also strong, unique individuals. Our vision for our new steward role is that we build a web of interconnections. We get to know members, not only those in our immediate circle. We get to share experiences, and we get to see UUCM through different eyes. Well, I had hoped that Sunday 6 weeks ago to encourage courageous love, and we are overjoyed. We have 22 members who volunteered. They've received training and they've been given guidelines and resources. And they are generous, open-hearted, and truly wish to make connections with you. Some are newer members and will value a connection with a longer-serving member. Some are longtime members and they have a lot to share. So we have a few stewards I noticed that aren't going to be here today. I guess it's weather, and I know there was some illness. But these are our new stewards.
So in a moment, I'll invite all those who are stewards to come on up down the center aisle, almost like a communion. And Marianne has a recognition for you, a pin. I invite the rest of us to hold our gratitude as they do, and I'll call the names as people arrive at the front. Gratitude for someone willing to take on that journey, and to invite members to know that your job is to say yes. Your job is simply to say, yes, I would love to get together. Or even if you don't love to get together, yes, I'm willing to get together. It really is about the connection piece. So for those who might be triggered by the use of the word steward in the past for around asking for money, that's not it. Really, truly, it's about the connection. So your job, members, is to say yes. So I invite all the people who are serving as stewards to come on down the front, and I'll call your name as Marianne hands you the pin. So Marianne Currington is one of them. Lori Bell, brand new member. Carol Ritchie, we know her story. Keith Johnson, longtime member. Elizabeth Rose, helping us stay connected through special events. Kathy McLeod, so glad you're doing that. Corey Silva. Scotty Hart. Susan Merrill, whose birthday is today. Chuck Champlin, thank you. Rain Thibault. Bob Miller does many things. Jeff Gold, notice these brand new members. Some others who couldn't be here, and we knew that Leslie Champlin couldn't be here today, so we had a picture ready, and Connie Wright, also a steward. Jim Perkins, Lynn Jovanovich, Anita Wald-Tuttle is one of our stewards. And is that Catherine or Taylor that's going to be a steward? Taylor Carey is going to be a steward as well. Gratitude, blessings, and thank you. And thank you.
And us.
Oh, you're also. Oh, I didn't see it in line. Yeah. Cheryl Morris as well. And Carol Nimick, brand new member. Notice the overlap in what people do, the roles. Thank you. Marianne, thank you for that organizing too. I invite Cheryl to introduce our offering. We're in a new month.
Each month, 25% of our offering, or more if you so choose, goes to a community partner that shares our values. The mission statement of Hospitality House is one of the most thoughtfully worded I have ever read. It is to bring homeless people in Nevada County into a circle of community sharing, caring, that offers shelter, sustenance, medical care, advocacy, opportunity, dignity, and hope as we assist them in transitioning from homelessness to housing. And we have Jessica Solis Hernandez from Hospitality House to tell us more.
Good morning. My name is Jessica. I am the Development and Specialist at Hospitality House. In other words, I'm in charge of bringing in donations and spreading awareness about Hospitality House and what we do. I would first like to thank you all for inviting me to speak today on behalf of Hospitality House. And I would also like to express our gratitude for naming Hospitality House as the December's Share the Plate recipient. We're beyond thankful for your support and your love and support throughout the years. For those unaware, Hospitality House started by a small group of activists, including founding member Utah Phillips, who was a UUCM member. This group realized we had to do something because doing nothing was not an option. A Hospitality House was nomadic for 8 years. They were going from church to church, providing services until 2013 that they created Utah's Place, our shelter, located at Sudden Way. Our services today include street outreach into camps and onto the streets with on-site medical attention if needed, complimentary transportation, customized case management, mental health counseling, pet care for all of our guests who have pets and don't want to leave them in the streets. They're more than welcome to come in and get services for both of them. Hospital, people who would like to come in and recover from hospital injuries, housing aid, and homelessness prevention. Since the pandemic, we've had no lapses in services. They've actually gone up. So we've seen more cases of homelessness in the area. So that requires us to get more support from our community. For food, during the pandemic, it actually tripled. We used to, pre-pandemic, we averaged 35,000 meals. As of now, we actually serve nearly 80,000 meals. So that has gone up increasingly. It was not easy as we had to pause our volunteer program. One of the cook groups that were coming in was the UUCM cook group. And then I would like to give a special shout out to Keith and Alice Johnson for leading that group. You've been beyond helpful, and our guests love having you there and your support, and they love your food. But now that they're back, we do need more support from our community, and that's why I am here, and I reach out to different organizations in the area so we can provide the services again as much as possible. We used to have 80 volunteers before the pandemic come in every month, but now we're down to 30 as of now. So if you like to volunteer, always reach out to Keith or to myself and we can do that, In recent years, we've also expanded in few impactful ways. In 2021, we opened Sierra Guest Home, which houses 36 older adults that is permanent and transitional housing. In 2022, we purchased a new land and plans to develop another facility for older adults and veterans. And this year, we actually opened Brunswick Commons with other organizations in the area. We have 40 units right now. So all of our guests who were living at the shelter, they're at Brunswick Commons. All of those units were sponsored. So meaning that they had a new brand bed, refrigerator, microwave, all of their basic needs were met. And they didn't have to worry about not having a bed once having, a roof over their head. Lastly, we've also expanded our shelter. We added an ADA lift for mobility users. We've also expanded our kitchen storage because we need to provide more meals. So we need more storage where to keep them. And we also added a new deck. It's beautiful. If you like to view it, we do have some images on our social media and our website. And it also helps us with social distancing. In case COVID cases go up again, we are more prepared on how to deal with that. We've been keeping busy, to say the least, but despite all our forward progress, there's still hundreds of people without homes, that is including children. We averaged caring for 90 people per day and served 718 unique individuals the previous year. That is an increase of 15% of the previous year. And like I said, more help is needed. For ways to help us, you can always log into hhshelter.org, or you can always call the development team, who is in charge of volunteering or connecting with other organizations in the area. We do have more videos online. If you like to view guest testimonials about the struggles, and especially about bringing awareness that this could happen to anyone. It could happen to you, it could happen to me. I have a job right now, but it could easily happen to me. And I know how it personally, from experiences, what people go through. And if you like more information, you're more than welcome to call us directly or to visit our website, which is hhshelter.org. Thank you so much for having me today. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
So if you'd like 100% of your donation to go to Hospitality House, place it in the white envelope or otherwise in the collection basket. And other ways to contribute are listed on the slide.
Your generosity remains essential to our ability to sustain the work of our community. There are several ways to contribute. You may text an amount to 833-579-0483, give via our website at uugrassvalley.org, via PayPal at paypal.me/UUCM, or mail to UUCM 246 South Church Street, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Thank you.
Thank you for your generosity as we enter this season of giving. We dedicate these gifts to expanding the circle of community in which all are valued and find care, opportunity, and dignity.
Thanks for hanging in there, everybody. Thank you to Cheryl and Carol for being worship associates. So you see, here's Carol Nimick, brand new member, already serving on the worship team. We're so glad for that. Thank you. Take a look at who our AV folks are in the back. If you're in the room, Gary and Paul and Bob helping set up. Our storytellers, would you identify yourselves? Our story readers, if you're still here. We had our new members as part of things, right? Carmen, was anyone else who's been helping support this service, including Eileen online, Linda's beautiful setting, Beth's working on the refreshments with Laura, thank you. And the people who spend time with our young ones, Lindsay and Rain today, all appreciated. Just very quickly, today was the last day and gifts went out, but if you still have yours, we'll find a way. Now, a book group today at 12:30 right here in the room down the hall. Great group. Now, if you're interested in finding out more, if you're like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting being a member, on Tuesday we start a deeper 5-session series that really digs in. It's a great way to get connected. And next Saturday we have a quick introduction, a 1-session introduction, and always lots more in the weekly e-newsletter and the website. So please be looking there for what's happening. You can sign up to receive those. Our closing song, I invite us to sing here together. I invite us to rise in body or in spirit. This brief song that names the truth, and then we'll go right into the closing words. Thanks to Toby for the music. We are here together in this holy moment, and we're grateful for the winding road that brought us to this place. One more time, we are here together in this holy moment, and we're grateful for the winding road that brought us to this place. Our closing words by Thomas Rhodes.
In this religious community, we reach back into the past to honor those who came before us and those who've given so much so that we may be here today.
And we reach forward with hands of welcome to embrace those who have newly joined our fellowship.
Wherever your path may take you, may you carry the good news you have heard here today with you in your heart and on your lips as a blessing to everyone you may meet. Invite us to remember that we're connected and that the 3-foot rule is still in effect as we offer our community benediction to carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. We'll see you next Sunday for a singing meditation service. Until then.